So I'm here at WeBuyCars. I'm looking at cars. So I don't want to lie. From time to time, whenever I come here, I always get very tempted. But what I can say is that in terms of the car that I'm interested in, so I had to choose between whether are you a Beamer guy, BMW person, or a Mercedes-Benz type of person. So I can confidently say that I'm a BMW type of guy. But obviously, from time to time, you'll come across very tempting Mercedes-Benz. Because I'm not gonna lie, they look good. Like, look at this one. So this one, it's a brand new model. This is a model from 2024, and what that means is that this is the facelift model. So by facelift, it means that Mercedes-Benz has actually updated the car, not really full redesign of the car, just a minor updates. But looking at this one, it doesn't have those higher end in terms of the lights that they come with. But all in all, doesn't mean that it comes with cheaper lights. It still comes with LEDs. And in terms of the AMG, in terms of the A-Class, what you should know between the facelift and the pre-facelift is that because this is the A200, the differences, especially in terms of besides cosmetics, is that here at the rear end, because this car is a front-wheel drive as opposed to the C-Class, it means that they decided that they want to change the suspension. So initially, an A-Class exclusively used to come with a multi-link suspension. Basically, it means independent suspension. It means that when the back tire hits a pothole, you don't feel it on the other opposite tire. But now they decided to put the torsion beam bar, which is kind of a disappointment, and a lot of people with few cars, they've noted the difference in terms of how the car drives. But obviously, it only comes on the cheaper model. So if you go to the high end, the more expensive A-Class, for this facelift one, you're gonna get the independent suspension. It's just unfortunate that you have to pay 800,000 or more just for an A-Class, because you can see this is a used one. So if it's brand new, you're gonna pay more. So still talking about Mercedes-Benz, here's something that's tempting. This looks good, I don't wanna lie. This looks good, and it comes with proper exhaust. Two of them this side and two of them that side. It means that it comes with a quad exhaust, meaning that it comes with 4 exhausts. So what you're looking at here, we are looking at the C43. And for those who know, you know that there's the normal C-Class, which is what we're looking at right there. We have the C63 and this one that we're looking at here. This is a C43. So here you're looking at a C43, and that's a normal C-Class. And for those who know the differences between a C43 and a C63, they both come with a quad exhaust, but the difference is that the C43, it comes with a 4-cylinder engine, which produces a lot of power. That's the same engine that you find at a higher end A-Class, but in this case you're finding it on a C-Class. Then there's the top one, the one that most people tend to go for, the one that actually comes with an 8-cylinder. I think it's an 8-cylinder if I remember well. That would be the C63, which back in the days it used to come with the 12 cylinders, for those who know. And that was for this model of car. It's that one that you see, I think it's a 5.2 liter something V12, but here we're talking about the C63. So these are cars that are very tempting, and I don't know if a lot of people know the differences between an A-Class, whether it's a sedan, and a C63 that always comes with a sedan. The differences is that the A-Class is predominantly a front-wheel drive, unless if you go to the higher end, the one that produces more power, then you can get the all-wheel drive. But the C-Class, all of them, they actually a rear-wheel drive. Unless if you don't know anything about Mercedes-Benz and you go buy a CLA, you will be buying a front-wheel drive. And back in the days, I don't know about now, but the CLAs, they used to get produced hand in hand with Renault. So hence that car drives with the front wheel drive. Even the engine, they used to use a Renault engine. I don't know about now, but that's a story for another day. So let's look at this one. It comes in black. You can see right there. It comes with a panoramic sunroof that opens. Looking at it inside, you can see that this is the previous model. But all in all, doesn't mean that this is not a nice car. I don't want to lie. These are things that when you see as a guy, you get tempted. But the problem is that money, guys. So you can see this one. Let it focus. This is for Matic. So this one, it means that it's driving front wheel and rear wheel drive. But predominantly when you're driving, it's mostly rear wheel drive. Look at this car. This car looks good, man. I like even the lights, how they look. You can see how they differ from the normal C-Class. You can just see. These are those types of LEDs that when you're driving at night, they have that bluish light. And here's the price. This is where all of us were getting tempted. We start to run away and actually realize that this is not our place. We don't belong here. So yeah, man, let me continue looking at cars and let me look for the cars that I'm actually interested in. I've been seeing a lot of GTIs for this model going for a lot in terms of the car that's expensive. Let me see. Nah, this is not a GTI. I thought this was a GTI, but looking at the lights alone, this is a dead giveaway that this is not a GTI in terms of this model. So this is a normal model, but someone decided that they want to modify it to be a GTI. I can already see this is a TSI. Yep, and I was right. Even though the person tried share. And obviously, when you're buying a car, you need to love your car, modify it whatever way that you feel that it's good for you. And yeah, man, I mean, who's gonna tell you? As long as whatever modifications that you did actually work for you, then that's fine. Since we were talking about a GTI, so let me just show you a GTI model. But obviously, this is the model that came out in 2018. So you can see in terms of the differences in terms of the lights and the exhaust. So what I like here is that GTI, they know the amount of power that the car produce. They know that their car is not gonna fly off to a point that you need a diffuser. You can see that here someone down there on the Polo actually put a diffuser. Yeah, man, I know it's a Polo GTI for that other model that came out around 2016, but still, you know the amount of power that it produces. It doesn't need to have that downforce. So talking about GTIs, I've been very interested in terms of the price, not to buy the car, just the price, because I've been seeing them on the market. And for those who know, this car when it came out, starting around because this is the facelift model from the one that came out in 2016, it used to start around 500,000, somewhere there. But it's kind of shocking in terms of the pricing that is actually going for, especially on the used market. We found that people are actually selling it to a price that we found that since 2018 for this model that we're looking at. And I was right. This is a 2018 model with 67,000 kilometers, going for around 400,000. So this car when it was new, what I can already tell you, it used to cost around $500,000. So that means that's around 80,000 depreciation for around 67,000 kilometers. I am not sure in terms of the kilometers, you know, because my car is old, I know, but in terms of the kilometers for a car that's 2018, I would expect it to have more kilometers. But anyway, people differ. I would say for anyone who wants to buy this type of car in terms of a GTI, what you should know is that VW, when they get old, they need to be replaced in terms of the water pump issue. So that's an issue that you'll find between VW and Audi, since VW and Audi, they are basically the same car brand. So whenever you buy this car, that's the first thing that I would advise anyone to actually look to replace. And obviously, because this is a used car, there's something that you can see in terms of this clarification. So most of the time in every car that has a sunroof, this piece is plastic. So for this one, you can see that it didn't age very well. But other than that, just from the quick look in terms of the car, still looks relatively in good condition. But honestly, I'm not a VW type of person because I like having my car. I know in South Africa they steal almost any car, but the last thing that I want is to be parking my car on a mall. Then I have to constantly be looking over my shoulder because I'm afraid that I'll come out and not find my car. Finally found a decent 3 Series. I've been walking everywhere. So in terms of the 3 Series, there's a model that started in 2020. So that's the facelift model. So it's the facelift model of the one that looks like this, not exactly this one. So this is an old model, but you know the one that looks like this. Then we have this one that started in 2020, I think all the way to 2021. Then 2022 was the facelift, if I remember, or 2022, 2023. I may be wrong, but in terms of the one that I'm looking for, this is the one that I'm looking for. I don't know whether this is stock in terms of what it has, but I'm willing to bet that this is not stock. I can just see in terms of the lip, it doesn't even reach the end. It looks like something that was put in terms of aftermarket, but let's go through this car just to have a look at it. And someone has already bought it. Yeah, someone put modification. You can see these plastics that have been added. I actually hate plastics, man. You can see this is aftermarket. See what I hate? The moment you hit a curve or something, that's gonna come off. Even though I can't see the kilometers of this car, I can already say that it's above 100,000. So what's the giveaway? So what I've noticed about these cars, when they start to get old, like here in terms of the lights, it's like they collect dirt, they get scratched. I think they need to get polished, and after polishing they will need like a primer applied so that it doesn't get burnt by the sun. And the other thing in terms of these cars, in terms of the settings, for people that know, the grille, it's closed. I don't know if you can see, there's no air that comes through there. It always comes through at the bottom. So what happens is that when the car needs more air, that piece usually opens. And if you're buying a car, you need to do a lot of research about the car that you're buying. What you should know is that that grille part that always opens, so it causes a lot of drivers in terms of issues. I've seen a couple of drivers who always go to the dealership to get that fixed. You find that sometimes it opens and it remains on the open position and doesn't close. And the other thing that in terms of what I don't like about this car is the sunroof, which in this case that's a moonroof. So that's that old design of the sunroof that just opens a bit and it goes up. It's not a panoramic sunroof. I mean, BMW, you can do better. So what I need to check is the facelift model for this one, whether it comes with a panoramic sunroof, because clearly here you don't get it. So looking at the inside, it looks decent. It looks decent. The other thing that you notice between this one and the facelift model is that this one, it has the separate screens. So the separate screens between the driver and also the infotainment system, whereas the new one, it comes with that biggest screen, which also integrates the air conditioning, which I don't like, man. This whole integration, I don't like. This looks like overkill, because you can see the exhaust there because of this back thing that they've put. No, like, it looks nice, but I can already see that they are trying to emulate the M350, and I'm sure that in terms of the batch number that is being removed, yeah, this is to cause a bit of confusion for people. But for those who know, when you get closer, you'll be able to differentiate the car. Here's another plastic trim that have been added. At least this one is on the top of the roof where it's not gonna get damaged. not gonna lie, is it me or the WeBuyCars inventory has reduced? I was reading something, they were mentioning that because of the Chinese, WeBuyCars is no longer selling as many cars, but I'm seeing there at the back, you probably won't see, but that space is empty, there's no cars. I don't know if it means that people are actually buying the cars, or it means that they're actually struggling to get new cars. Remember, I said that there's space in terms of WeBuyCars, and whether I don't know whether is it because they're running out of the inventory in terms of cars because people are buying, or they're running out of inventory because they're no longer getting a lot of cars from people, and also because a lot of people, maybe they're not selling their cars, they're choosing to keep their cars. And the other thing that I saw when I was reading in terms of WeBuyCars, when they talk about WeBuyCars, they say that in terms of the cars that they used to sell has been drastically reduced. Because even there on top, every time when I would come, I would see cars. So in terms of the branch that I'm in, this is the branch in Kingston. So what was written is that because of the Chinese, because of all the car brands which are flooding our market at an affordable rate, a lot of people are actually choosing to buy the Chinese cars instead of buying used cars. Because I mean, check this X3 for example, that has a kilometer of around 74,000 kilometers, and it's coming for $500,000. So you're paying 10,000 for a car that someone has already driven. Probably it's out of maintenance plan, or it's gonna be out of maintenance plan. So you're gonna be paying for a car that someone has already used. They've already finished the maintenance plan and the warranty as well on top. If you talk about the warranty, you find that that's something that's already finished. So basically it means that if something goes wrong, it means that you're going to be paying out of pocket. So I think that's something that you need to consider.